To Saturday Racing. It's October 5th, 2019. We have the Catalina starting in about 5 seconds. This boat is right on target. All clear. And they won the start. Going fast at the committee boat end of the line. The other boat is getting in the wind shadow of Spray, this boat here. Now they're going to tag, but they shouldn't have done that, I think, because, see, they may not lay our anchor line, which is out here. And if you hook your keel or your rudder on our anchor line, you could be in big trouble. And they're going to actually slip by a few feet and not snag us and take us for a ride. So right now, Spray's in the lead. Now, Spray needs to tack over and cover them unless they see a major advantage going left, like maybe that tack is closer to the mark, which I don't think it is. I think we have a really even windward leg, so they need to cover this other boat, because let's say they keep going the way they're going and there's even a minor wind shift to the right. Well, this boat on the right, when the wind shifts right, they're going to tack over and have the other boat by a mile. So Spray's going to lose their lead unless they tack. Oh, they just tacked. Good thinking. And they're racing a windward leeward course. It's about a mile and a little bit, maybe a little longer. And they race down to a leeward mark below us and then finish to windward. It adds a little extra oomph to the course. And we have great winds today. They're about 11 to 13 out of the east-northeast. Nice and cool out here on the bay. Alright, we're going to start the Harbor 20s next. Alright, so Spray on port tack is in the lead. A nice lead over Seafoam. And now Spray needs to cover them. And a loose cover is where you let them go behind you and get clear air, and then you just tack and get on the same tack as them. Or a tight cover is where you tack sort of in front of them and try and gas them again. So they should really tack soon, I think. Well, they may be, nah, they're not going for the ley line. It's way up there. So, but you need to cover. All right, so now Seafoam tacked over. And so Spray really doesn't have to do much of anything. Just keep their eye on them and not overstand at the weather mark ley line. We are at the start of the first race of the Harbor 20s. We have 40 seconds to go. And we have 3 of them out here. I like the way this boat is staying close to the line. When you get far away, like the blue boat, sometimes you can have an adverse wind shift that will render you unable to get to the line in time. Say again? 20 seconds. 20 seconds. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All clear. And Filbert won the start on the line, going fast. Good job. And the blue boat, you know, they were way down there to leeward, are having trouble getting to the line on time, you know. And so we've already had 20 seconds pass, and now the yellow boat's crossing the line. So you want to be on the line when you start, because they're 20 seconds behind the first boat, and the blue boat, who was stuck way down there to leeward, they are 35 seconds late. So it's really difficult to make that up on the rest of this short course. If you have a long course, sometimes you can, if you can sail the boat faster, maybe catch some good wind angles, but normally a poor start is the kiss of death. All right, so right now Filbert is winning, but they're splitting tacks with these other 2 boats. Now that's dangerous, because if we get that shift to the right, the boats on the right are going to gain big time. So they need to be careful and cover. A lot of very famous sailors have said they lose more races from not covering than for any other reason. Because you can get a lucky wind shift if you're behind and pass the leaders. And they're sailing a windward leeward course. It's a little shorter than the other class. And now here comes Spray. You're going to score these guys? Who's going to be winning the race in the Catalina class. And so let's get right back here on the line to score them. And Spray wins their class. All right, that was about a 20-minute race. And here come the veterans sailing Seafoam in second. All right, so we're going to get the Catalina class started as soon as we can. We are at the start of the next Catalina race with 30 seconds to go, and Spray, this lead boat, is getting set up very nicely. 25 seconds. $15. And if you need to slow down, if you're a little early for your start, well, you just make some big S turns, waste a little time. All right, there's 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All clear! And Spray wins the start again, on the line, going fast. And here come the veterans in Seafoam right behind them. And they need to get their sails trimmed in tighter and maybe pinch up, because you see they're falling behind in the wind shadow of Spray. You see how their jib is starting to luff? They're in disturbed wind. And they could have avoided that by just pinching up a little bit and getting pointing mode, which where you trim in a little tighter, get a little weight to leeward to heel the boat a little bit, and you won't lose any speed for a while. And so that's how you kind of stay with them. Now, Spray needs to tack over and cover them, I think. Don't let them get away. All right, here come the Harbor 20s for their finish. You're going to score us here. And it looks like Filbert is going to take the honors. And then, wow, it's close race for second. All right, here we are on the line, and there goes Filbert finishing now. And let's see, in second place, looks like it's going to be the blue boat, Paul. Yep. Followed by Celia. All right, we're going to get the next race started as soon as possible. Start of the next race for the Harbor 20s, and we have 45 seconds to go. I like how this boat is getting set up on the line. They're up here. And it's a little dangerous when you're down there to leeward, but they're not too far off. 35 seconds. Let's get up here on the line between the orange flag and the orange buoy. And this boat is getting set up very nicely. The blue boat is coming on strong and could roll them, so they need to pick up their speed. They need to get moving, not be dead in the water. Okay, 15 seconds. And now if the blue boat overlaps them to leeward, they can run that Filbert up. Filbert just broke a rule. It's 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All clear. And the blue boat probably won the start, and they need to trim their main in to keep going. I think Celia, the yellow boat, hit the mark, so they have to do a penalty turn. Filbert was just dead in the water over there, and they actually broke a rule because the leeward boat can run them up, and they need to stay clear of the leeward boat, and so they owe a penalty turn. Now, the way you enforce your rules is to file a protest, and the procedure is you must hail the party that broke the rule. Just say protest. You don't have to say why, you just say protest, and then the party that broke the rule can absolve themselves by doing a 360-degree penalty turn. Now, if the boat that is protesting fails to notify the party that broke the rule and notify the race committee at the end of the race, then too bad the protest has not been filed properly. So the blue boat right now, I think, is winning. And if they get any kind of a header, they should probably tack over, because then they could clear the yellow boat and consolidate their lead. So they're looking for a header. That means the wind comes more ahead of you. That means on port tack here, the wind would go more to the right. So they should be looking for that header to go over, and then they could, consolidate the first place lead. Now Filbert just tacked over, and they're really not a contender right now, so the blue boat probably doesn't need to cover them. The blue boat needs to be looking for that header to go over on. All right, and the blue boat was going to was on a collision course with the yellow boat, held starboard, so the yellow boat ducked below them and now is tacking to cover them. A little hard to see. But I think the blue boat is playing it just right. They're staying with the competition. They should be looking for a way to gas them, and it looks like they're doing it right now. Ooh, why are they tacking? Well, maybe they think they're on the ley line. Yeah, the Catalina's way over there. Spray's got their spinnaker up. Seafoam did not set their spinnaker, so Spray's going to maintain their lead. And it looks like Paul, the blue boat, will round the weather mark in their class first, followed by Celia, then Filbert. Right, here we are at the finish. And Celia takes the honors, followed by Paul, the blue boat. And finally we have Filbert. And Spray takes the honors in the Catalina class. Yes. Good job. And here comes Seafoam. And here's the start of the next race for the Harbor 20s. 45 seconds to go. And again, Filbert is doing the right thing, getting up on the line, getting set up for a fast start. Paul has been straying way far away, and I thought they were going to not make it back here in time, but it looks like they will make it. And Celia, the yellow boat, is trying a variation of their start they used last week with 15 seconds to go to start on port, because they probably feel that port tack is favored, and I think it is by a few degrees. So you can gain a lot of boats that way. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. All clear! And yeah, Celia just needs to trim up their sails so they can clear our anchor line, get that main in. Yeah, get the jib in tight. And hope they clear the anchor line. And they just barely made it. That's a bit risky what they did. All right, so now Filbert is tacking over, and I think that was a good move. Stay with the fleet. Don't let your competition get too far away. All right, now Celia, what are they doing? Are they tacking? Not sure. I think Filbert might be in the lead. 3, 2, 1. All right, that's 1 minute to go before the Catalina start. And we have 50 seconds to go. And Spray shouldn't get too far to leeward. Remember, those adverse shifts, when you come back, can kill you. And 40 seconds to go. Yeah, these guys need to get back here. It's better to be a little early and slow down than to be too late, because you can only go so fast. There's about 30 seconds, and I think Spray's went too far to leeward there. Now you see, this boat can get on the wind of Spray, and I would like work my way down right in front of him to gas him 15 seconds. And you see, Spray just went way too far to leeward. There's 8 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All clear! Good start! Cover him now, cover him! Alright, so Seafoam won the start. And here comes Spray. Now, if they pinch up a little bit, they can stay in a clear lane of air. You know, you don't want to fall down into the wind shadow of that boat ahead. So you want to be in pointing mode with your sails in tight, weight out. You see how they're pointing higher than Seafoam? Okay. Now, Seafoam should be careful not to split too far away from Spray. It looks like Spray just got a big knock, like the wind went left. And if it truly did and it settles in, they need to get over on the other tack because the other tack's a little closer. Looks like they're tacking or something. Not sure what's going on. Oh, yeah, they are tacking. Now, Seafoam should probably tack over, consolidate their lead, and dump right on top of Spray. That's what they ought to do. There's kind of a slow tack there. Their main got eased too far out, and they didn't get in time. So, you know, the main's like your throttle to get you going. They need to get that in. So, see, now Seafoam, I think, should cover more and get over on the other tack, unless they feel that this is a closer angle to the mark. But it looks kind of even right now. And it appears that Spray is pointing higher than Seafoam. So the tactician on Seafoam should be watching for that and then telling the crew what to do to solve that difference of pointing ability, because this is how Spray is going to probably catch up with them, because they're pointing like 5 degrees closer to the thing. All right, here come the Harbor 20s, and we're going to have a photo finish over here. Let me get over here by the got to get on the line here between the orange flag, the orange buoy, because it's a bit tight. And it looks like Paul, the blue boat, is going to be first. Yes, they are. And Philbert is going to be second. Oh, it was close. One more race, okay? And Celia is in third. We're at the start of the last race of the Harbor 20s, and that was the 1 minute signal. Here we go again. Philbert is getting set up just right. On the line, going fast, with 40 seconds to go, and the blue boat needs to be careful not to get too far to leeward. All right, 35 seconds. 30. And the blue boat needs to get moving. You know, with the last 15 seconds, you really want to be going max speed. All right, there's 20. And, you know, the blue boat needs to pinch up because they're in the disturbed wind of the other boats. There's 9 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All clear! And Philbert won the start, on the line, going fast. They may even roll Celia, who needs to get their main in and their jib in. Now, the wind has shifted left about 5 degrees, and the blue boat is actually, even though they started late, they're on the favored tack. That means they're sailing a closer angle to the objective. And if these boats keep going the way they're going, they will catch up and pass the other ones within about probably 2 minutes if the others don't tack. Now, okay, the yellow boat did tack up, and there goes Filbert too. So they're doing a very loose cover, and they're going to probably be all right. But it looks like Filbert's winning this race. They're pointing higher than Celia. Celia's main's out too far. They need to get that thing in. And they do have their crew weight just right. High side, scrunch forward. But their main's out too far. They could probably point another 2 to 3 degrees higher if they had the main in properly. All right, so it looks like Paul, the blue boat, is in the lead and passed to windward of Filbert. Filbert's going to tack on their hip. They look like they may be on the ley line. So, Paul just needs to make sure they're laying that mark. They may have to get in pointing mode and gain a few degrees of windward height to make sure they don't have to tack again, because you lose 2 to 3 boat lengths whenever you tack. And Paul, it's first around with the weather mark. I called that ley line just right. All right. Finish, and Paul is going to take the honors, followed by Filbert. Head in! Head in! No, let's go. We'll go drive up to them. Tell them. Okay, and so Celia's third. All right, now the Catalinas are finishing, and Spray making a nice tack. That was pretty good. I think you want to not turn as sharp. Uh-oh. Get ready to go forward. Get ready to go forward. That happens in heavy winds a lot. If you don't ease that main, the boat will weather vane into the wind, and it might hit somebody like us. And, we have to be ready to make a move. Head in! And here comes Seafoam, and they're overpowered. You see how they're leaned over? Well, the person on the main should ease the Traveler first, and then the main sheep. But usually easing the Traveler all the way off does the trick. What a beautiful day. It's blowing about 13. And, oh, got to get that jib in. There we go. Will the crew of Paul please come forward? And the winners for Saturday, October 5th. See you next week. Will the crew